can they trade away, a Joan Duran? Can they trade away a Griffin Jax without feeling like it's malfeasance?
They can do it. I'm saying from a fan perspective, or from my perspective, whatever you want to call me. I don't know. I mean, I think we went through some of their trades on the Patreon. So I guess it's not so much that I'm like, can they morally trade these guys? I think that's a little rich, like I'm not trying to make that case. I also don't, I think from a moral perspective, I would trust Derek Falvey in particular to do the right thing and not act entirely in his own interest, but he is a human being. I mean, that stuff is going to seep into your decision making. I guess more what I'm saying is like, has the ownership situation and the fact that it's loomed over this everything since like November at this point? I mean, almost we're coming up on a year.
I would suggest potentially longer than that.
Well, yeah, 40 years.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, but specifically this, the notion that they're lame duck owners and that the front office might not be here if a new group comes, all that stuff. That has kind of provided, that has been the talking point with regard to ownership and front office and kind of their status. And in a weird way, I feel like it's kind of provided cover.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me just say this. They're going to miss the playoffs for the fourth time in 5 years in one of the worst divisions in the history of baseball. And by the way, for all the talk about payroll restrictions, they have the highest payroll in the division and have pretty consistently, if not first, then second, that whole time, over the course of 5 years. And to miss the playoffs 4 times in 5 years, when the bar, as we just talked about at the beginning, is basically 85 wins, it's very difficult, more difficult than ever to miss the playoffs in Major League Baseball. That's just a fact. And so I feel like there's so much focus, and we're guilty of this too, obviously, about the ownership and what does it mean for the front office and what happens if a new billionaire comes in. All that stuff I think is super relevant, and obviously I think it's worth talking about because I talk about it all the time. But just remove that. Take that pretend we didn't know the owners. Oh, I feel so good. Actually, that is a fun thing to pretend. I don't know. I don't know who owns the Minnesota. Oh my God, I feel. Anyway, the birds are chirping outside. Anyway, pretend you have no idea what the ownership situation is. Pretend none of that, and just say this group, this regime that has been in place since 2017 is about to most likely miss the playoffs for the 4th time in 5 years, and they have a losing record during that 5-year span. We'll see how this year ends up, obviously, but I think just with that, you could realistically just have some doubts about their talent evaluation, their player development, the trades they're able to pull off. And I don't think they're horrible at that, but I also don't think they're so good at that or have such a good track record of that you would be like, boy, if there's anybody I want trading away 3 core players, it's Derek Falvey, Jeremy Zoll in this front office, because they're going to get good value. And then you fold in the ownership thing and the uncertainty and the influx and all that. And it's just, I don't know, it hits me, and maybe I'm alone on this island. It's very possible on Gleeman Island. We have Chinese food still delivers there, but we don't have anything else. I just think you fold all that together and it's like, is this who I want trading Joe Ryan? Is this who I want trading Durant? But the flip side, which we've also talked about on the Patreon, is I'm open to trading relievers.
Sure.
In just about any circumstance.
Right.
I think that is, in general, a smart approach for teams to take. If you don't need these guys in the late innings of playoff games, get value from teams that think they do need those guys in the late innings of playoff games, and then go about trying to create your next Griffin Jax, your next Brock Stewart, your next whatever it is. So yeah, it's a weird situation because their most valuable guys, other than Joe Ryan, are Duran and Jax, and Stewart is also valuable. In general, I would be like, get whatever you can for relievers. Relievers burn bright, they fade away. You can build another good one, all this stuff. If someone's going to overpay you, but also these guys have 2.5 years of team control, and I don't know what this whole organization is going to look like in 2.5 years. Is, I guess, how I'm waffling back and forth.
Well, one of the things that we haven't dove into yet, and we're going to as we play out this season and start to take a look into the off season, is I wouldn't be shocked if part of the receptiveness to being able to trade away a Duran or a Jax or a Ryan is they're taking a look at the potential payroll limit for next year,
Right.
and taking a look at the raises that are due, not just those three, but we went through this last offseason across the board. Half the team's getting like a $2 or $3 million raise, right? Or, maybe not quite that much, but you're going to, just from arbitration awards, you're going to go up tens of millions of dollars, even if you just sit on your hands and do nothing, which is what they've essentially been stuck doing for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean,
and if part of the relief for that is, we might have to trade one of these guys in the offseason anyway. Why wouldn't we trade them now at the trade deadline when relievers tend to be overvalued?
Well, although that's another example of, I'd probably want to see if there's a new owner in place before that happens, because maybe you don't have to trade payroll. You know what I mean?
That is an argument for, not trading away future assets, is maybe we get an ownership situation. Whether or not you trust these guys, whether or not they retain these guys or not, you might just have more money in the future.
Yeah, I mean, if the new owner comes in and goes, "Oh, damn, I wish he hadn't traded Joe Ryan. I was going to give him $150 million and keep him here for the rest of his career." And you go, "Oh, well, we got these two single A prospects for him. What do you want to do with that?" It's like, well, okay, that doesn't really work. I don't know. I mean, I think, this would be a lot easier conversation if we had a real sense of what the actual sales situation was. We don't. I mean, I can tell you rumors and innuendo and stuff like that. I know people are like, "Yeah, tell us that." But, we don't know. It's been 9 months, right? I mean, this baby would be born already.
And welcome to the end of this video. There's lots more. For another, just click on one of these boxes.
Or click on this circle in the middle to subscribe to all of our Twins Talk.
Thank you.
Gleeman